Algebra 2 3.5b, slope of horizontal or vertical lines. Now, if you haven't seen the previous videos for Chapter 3, because we're in Chapter 3, Lesson 5b, you can click on the link to this video's description and go to the Algebra 2 playlist and just scroll through it until you find the videos you need. Now, we've learned that the slope of a line is its change in y values divided by the change in x values. And vertical lines don't change their x values. This orange vertical line is the y-axis, and here we have a green vertical line that's on -6 for x. It's on the negative of 6 for x, and all the y values are changing, but the x values are staying the same. There's no slope. And for a horizontal line, they don't change their y values. So here, all the y values are 5, and the x values are changing all across this line, but the y values are staying at 5. See that? So there's no slope. Take a look at this graph. All the x values are at 3. Every single x value is at 3. So we can take the points 3, 0 and 3, 7 for these 2 points. We can use the slope formula for 3, 0 and 3, 7 as x1, y1, x2, y2. Plug them into that formula, and we can find the slope. 7 take away 0, 7 take away 0, divided by 3 take away 3 is 7 over 0. 7 divided by 0. Well, that means the rise over the run is 7 over 0. Well, that's an undefined ratio. We can't divide by 0. We've learned that. So this is no slope or undefined slope. Now, I'm going to show you the difference between this and a 0 slope in a second. So stick with me. Now, this is a horizontal line, where in this one, all the x values were the same, and it changed for the y values. For this one, all the y values are at 3, and the x values are changing. So we've got a point here of 0, 3, and we've got another point here of 8, 3. All right? I'm going to plug those into the slope formula. Now, if you get confused about which one to subtract over which one, you could stack them like this. And we're going to do these together, and we're going to do these together, okay? So to stick to this formula of y2 minus y1, we have 3 minus 3, which is a 0. And we've got 8 minus 0, which is an 8. So we have 0 divided by 8 as our rise over our run. So the change in the y value is a 0. That rise is a 0. So the slope is 0. Now, what's the big deal? What's the difference between no slope and 0 slope? Think of it this way. If we can't do the math, because it's undefined, you can't divide by 0, so it's impossible to do this math, then we can't find the slope, so it's no slope. On this side, we are able to do the math. So the slope is a 0. See? We can have a 0 as a numerator, we just can't have one as a denominator. See that? That's the difference. So because we can't do the math, it ends up being no slope. We couldn't find it. And on this side, it's 0. It would be the difference between someone eating some candy and they ate all the candy until there was 0 candy left compared to someone who never had any candy. See? There was no candy to subtract. So if you can't do the math, there's no slope or it's undefined, all right? So here's our theorem. A horizontal line has slope 0 and a vertical line has no slope, all right? And there's a theory that M is used for slope because it stands for monter, the French word for mount or climb or slope. And René Descartes, the inventor of the coordinate system, that Cartesian coordinate system that we use, this with the 4 quadrants, he was French. He invented it. So it could be true. He was French, and it does stand for climbing or, okay? So we don't know. It's just a theory, all right? So our next video is 3.5c, and we're going to talk about point-slope equation of a line. And you can go to this video's description to see the previous videos that I made for this playlist in the Algebra 2 playlist. You can catch up, review, study for tests. And there's also going to be links to the chapter playlists from Algebra 1 that correspond to these lessons because Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 overlap. All right? All right. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you're doing well. I believe in you. I think you can do this, okay? People can do anything that they put their mind to. All right? You just have to decide you want it bad enough. I'll see ya. Bye.